In today's video, we bring you an incredible and thrilling story: dog versus intruder moments caught on camera. Watch as a home invader receives an unexpected surprise when two courageous dogs spring into action, protecting their home with unwavering determination. This intense encounter, captured on video and shared widely on the internet, has left viewers amazed by the bravery and tenacity of these loyal canines. From the daring chase initiated by neighborhood watch members to the fearless attack by the vigilant dogs, this gripping incident highlights the incredible bond between pets and their owners. Stay tuned as we dive into this astonishing story, showcasing the heroic actions of these protective dogs and the dramatic outcome that ensued. Number 14. A gripping incident unfolded when a home invader received an unexpected surprise, being attacked and bitten by two courageous dogs. The encounter, captured on video and widely circulated on the internet, left viewers amazed by the tenacity of these loyal canines. According to a police spokesperson, neighborhood watch members spotted the suspect carrying stolen goods out of a residence. Determined to protect their community, they sprang into action and gave chase as the suspect attempted to flee. In a daring move, he leapt from a roof onto another property, only to find himself face-to-face with two vigilant dogs guarding the premises. Undeterred by his presence, the fearless canines launched into a fiery attack, gripping the suspect and refusing to let go. The viral video captured the intense struggle as the suspect grappled with the determined dogs, desperately trying to loosen their grip. Despite his efforts, the canines remained steadfast, determined to neutralize the threat and protect their territory. Eventually, the owner of the dogs intervened, offering respite from the relentless attack. By this point, the suspect had suffered injuries to his arms and legs, a testament to the dog's unwavering determination. Following the incident, the injured suspect was promptly transported to a medical facility for treatment. However, his ordeal did not end there. Authorities arrested him on charges of housebreaking and theft, emphasizing the seriousness of his alleged crimes. Number 13. In this video, we see a man sneaking around a house, searching for a way to get inside. As he's scouting for an entry point, the property's guard dog comes charging around the corner and leaps into action, jumping on the unwelcome guest without hesitation. Even when the intruder tries to punch the dog in the head, the determined canine doesn't back down. The dog tackles the wannabe robber to the ground and holds on tight. The man struggles to push him off but isn't having much success. Somehow, he manages to get up and starts to run away, but the dog is right on his heels, not giving him a moment's peace. Meanwhile, two smaller dogs stand around watching the commotion without getting involved. They seem content to let the big dog handle the situation while they stay out of the fray. The struggle continues all around the dusty yard, with the intruder unable to shake off the persistent dog. Every time he thinks he's found a way out, the dog is there, making sure this intruder won't be causing any more trouble. Number 12. Dealing with one angry dog is tough, but handling two at the same time is far more challenging, as we can see here. The burglar jumps over the yard wall and prepares to drop down, but trouble finds him fast. Two dogs immediately latch onto his legs, biting and pulling him to the ground. The man is clearly in a lot of pain as he tries every trick in the book to get rid of these dogs. He punches, grabs, and kicks in a desperate attempt to fend them off, but the dogs refuse to back down. Their teeth sink deeper into his legs, causing him to cry out in agony, but they aren't backing off that easily. They're determined to make sure this intruder remembers this encounter for a long time, making him think twice before attempting something like this again. Number 11. A man is trespassing in the middle of the night, but the message from the owner's dogs is unmistakable: he's not welcome. Overwhelmed by the dog's fierce defense, he finds himself scrambling as they bark and nip at his heels. Desperately, he pleads with the owner to call off the vigilant canine. Clearly unprepared for the pain and chaos, he finally manages to escape the yard and collapses against a nearby car, trying to regain his composure. The owner, still wary and firm, urges him to leave before the dogs get another chance to teach him a lesson. As the man gathers himself, the owner tosses him the bag he dropped inside the yard, a final reminder of his failed mission. After this ordeal, it's safe to say he won't be attempting another late-night adventure anytime soon. The dog's territorial defense has left a lasting impression on the intruder. Number 10. In this video, a dog faces overwhelming odds. A group of would-be intruders surveys the property, walking around the perimeter and assessing possible entry points. A couple of them get daring and climb over the walls, sneaking into the yard. Suddenly, they encounter a formidable German Shepherd, confidently patrolling the area. The dog barks assertively, showing no fear of the unwelcome visitors. The intruders exchange nervous glances. One of them hesitantly signals to the others, indicating that this mission might be more difficult than anticipated. Confronting this vigilant guardian seems to be more trouble than it's worth. With a mix of disappointment and relief, they quietly retreat, deciding that dealing with a watchful dog is not on their agenda for the day. As they slink away, the German Shepherd watches them, tail wagging triumphantly, as if to say, "That's right, don't mess with my turf." The German Shepherd continues barking loudly as the intruders scramble away from the scene. Number 9. It's not easy to gain the favor of dogs, especially when they're protecting their territory. Our next video showcases this very challenge. A man jumps over a fence and tries to act non-threatening, attempting to pet the dogs. But these dogs are sharp. They can sense trouble from a mile away and aren't fooled by his nice guy act. They leap on him immediately, biting his hand. Caught off guard by their swift reaction, the man frantically tries to punch and push them away, but the dogs are relentless in their defense. Despite his efforts, he is swiftly overwhelmed and pinned to the ground by the dog's determination. He writhes in pain as their bites become more insistent, leaving him no room to maneuver. Neighbors, having heard the commotion, start coming over to see what's happening. They throw water on the would-be robber who is still on the ground, unable to escape the determined dogs. Number 8. A man is sitting inside a gas station office when someone approaches the door. He gets up to see what's happening, and that's when the trouble begins. A masked man enters, clearly planning to rob the place. But there's one thing he didn't count on: a pit bull boxer mix keeping the gas station attendant company. Sensing the imminent danger, the dog leaps into action, charging at the intruder without hesitation. The robber, totally unprepared to deal with this formidable canine defender, panics. With adrenaline pumping, he makes a swift decision to retreat. He turns and dashes for the door, his initial bravado evaporating in the face of the fearless dog's fierce stance. The pit bull boxer mix barks loudly and stands its ground, ensuring the safety of the gas station and its occupants. Number 7. Let's look at this brief scenario. A man walks into a gun store with the intent to rob it. As he approaches the counter and draws his gun on the clerk, he is unaware of a dog behind the counter. In a flash, the dog leaps into action, biting down on the robber's gun hand. The store owner quickly responds, lifting the dog onto the counter. Startled and faced with the dog's fierce barking, the would-be robber quickly abandons his plan and flees from the store. Number 6. We spot our intruder under a tree, being relentlessly swarmed by 2 dogs. He's struggling to manage them as they bite his arm and shred his clothes. The poor guy is flailing, trying to shake them off, but the dogs are on a mission. Desperately attempting to escape, he's losing more clothes by the second, with the dogs showing no signs of letting up. It's like a scene from a cartoon. Every time he pushes one dog away, the other lunges at him. His shirt is already in tatters, and his pants aren't faring much better. Struggling to pull up what's left of his pants, he makes a break for a nearby concrete wall, hoping to gain some height advantage. He's swatting at the dogs, but they can still reach him. Desperate for help, he realizes he needs to get to safety first. Finally, with one last burst of energy, he scrambles up a nearby tree and catches his breath. Number 5. Sometimes even a small dog can deter would-be thieves. In this instance, a man attempts to steal a bike, but his plan quickly falls apart when a puppy runs out and starts barking at him. Realizing that the noise will likely attract attention, the man hurriedly abandons his attempt and flees the scene. The brave little puppy, its tiny frame full of courage, continues to bark defiantly, ensuring the intruder makes a swift exit. Number 4. A man is casually strolling past a yard when something catches his eye, a tempting prize he just can't resist. He enters the yard and starts grabbing things, tossing them over the fence to retrieve later after he's finished his impromptu shopping spree. But just as he's contemplating grabbing more, he spots two dogs racing toward him, clearly not in the mood for visitors. Realizing his luck has run out, the man swiftly jumps the fence and beats a hasty retreat. Meanwhile, the dogs are still in full alert mode, barking and pacing, clearly perturbed by the unexpected intrusion into their territory. Their growls echo as a warning to any potential intruders. The man, on the other side of the fence, breathes a sigh of relief, thankful to have escaped with his hide intact. He casts a nervous glance back at the vigilant dogs, realizing they're not to be trifled with. It's safe to say he won't be returning for any more shopping trips anytime soon. Number 3. In our next video, the intruder tries a different tactic, hoping to come across as friendly and avoid a confrontation with the home's guardian dog. He sneaks into the house he's planning to rob and is greeted by a Great Dane. Instead of panicking, he starts petting the dog, trying to act non-threatening while inching his way to the next room. As he carefully crosses the hallway, the homeowner appears, clearly distressed, and starts yelling at the intruder. The Great Dane, picking up on the owner's fear, suddenly realizes what's happening and turns on the intruder, jumping up and getting right in his face. In a frantic scramble, the man desperately tries to fend off the dog and make a run for it. He manages to dash out the door just in time, with the homeowner slamming it shut behind him. Meanwhile, the Great Dane continues to bark ferociously at the retreating intruder, making it clear that this house is off limits. Number 2. Dealing with dogs is always tough for robbers because dogs aren't scared of guns like people are. In this clip, we see a masked robber following the store owner into the shop, pistol drawn and pointed at the man. What he didn't expect was a dog behind the counter. As soon as the dog spots the armed intruder, it reacts quickly, lunging forward and clamping its jaws around the man's hand. The sudden attack makes the robber panic, and he hastily escapes the store, abandoning his plan in the face of the fearless canine defender. Number 1. Our next robber clearly hasn't thought things through. We first see him pacing in front of the yard gate, hesitating as if he's not entirely sure he wants to go through with it. But finally, he musters up the courage to commit the crime. As soon as he opens the gate, he's met by a small dog fiercely protecting its home. With great determination, the dog charges down the stairs, barking loudly at the trespasser. The man clearly doesn't want to deal with this vigilant little guard, so he quickly turns away and leaves the scene.